Welcome back to Master It's Makeover Monday, but now we're going to make over your finances instead. And we're joined by the author of Paychecks for Life, Charlie Epstein. He's here to let you know how your 401k could change your financial future.
Good
Pleasure
to see you
have
again.
you here.
Yeah, thanks.
Got all these books all about Paychecks for Life. How can you get a paycheck for life?
That's great. So we've got these books here. Actually, this is our second printing. We just sold out the first 5,000 books.
For you.
We're into our second printing, so we want to thank everybody out there for doing that.
Well played.
It's simple. There are 9 simple paycheck for life principles in this book. I wrote it for the average consumer who's in a 401k plan. You follow the 9 principles like a recipe, like a food recipe,
Okay.
and you'll have a paycheck for life.
So in other words, you can use your 401k and kind of turn it into a paycheck machine because you're using simple principles of investing?
Yeah, well, the analogy I like to use is if you were a business owner and I asked you what your retirement plan is, what you would tell me is, Charlie, you're sitting in it. I'm going to sell this business someday and turn it into a paycheck for life. The average employee doesn't have a business they can sell.
That's true.
So what I want people to start thinking about is your 401k is your own personal business. And if you acted like an entrepreneur and you had a formula for success, which entrepreneurs have, you could then one day sell, liquidate your 401k, and turn it into a paycheck for life.
You know, just a generic question. So people oftentimes, they have a 401k with their work. How much should we be putting into it?
Great question. On average, well, somebody your age, 10%. 10% is the magic number.
And even if my company matches, or you just want to hit that 10%
no
matter what?
Don't even count your company match.
So
that's
me,
gravy.
10%, all right.
10%, and I have a mantra.
Yeah?
It's called 10-1 now.
All right, explain this to me, because finances, for the most part, right over our heads.
So it's real simple. So what I want everybody to be thinking about is you got to save 10%. And what people will say to me is, well, Charlie, right now, I can't save 10%. I've got bills, I've got kids, I've got a mortgage. Fine. What can you save? And let's say you said, I can save 5%. So then what I say to you is, you got to get to 10, you're at 5. Every year I want you to increase your contribution to your 401k by just 1%. It's like adding another ingredient to a recipe.
Exactly.
And in 5 years, you'll be at 10%. And I have an example of that. I don't know if we can bring it up right now.
Perhaps we can. Let's see if we can.
Let's see if we can bring
If not, we
can
just shoot the breeze for a while.
Here it is.
Here we are.
So we got 3 people. We got George, we got Susan, George, and Morgan.
Okay.
Susan's on the left. Susan says, I can save 10%, Charlie. She's 30 years old. She makes $40,000. And in 35 years, she has $445,000 in her 401k.
A lot of people don't think that they can actually amass almost $500,000.
It's a lot of money.
It is a lot
George
of money.
says, I can't save 10% right now. I can only save 5. And he thinks, I won't get there. And I say, just increase your contribution by 1% every year thereafter. And look what happens. In the green there, you'll see he's got $405,000. He's not too far off from Susan. Then Morgan says, oh, I can save 5. I'll increase it every year by 10%. And then what happens?
She doesn't get there.
She never does it. And she's only got $222,000, almost $200,000 less. So 1% a year for 5 years could be worth a couple $100,000.
Well, and that 1% of your paycheck, you know, depending on how much you make, maybe it's just a cup of coffee, maybe it's this, maybe it's that.
It's so you don't even notice it. That's the key. People don't even notice it.
That's
and here's the other benefit. You can go to your employer and say, automate this for me. It's automatic. You can tell your employer next year and every year for the next 5 years, automatically take that extra 1% out. So I don't forget to do it.
Well, that's the thing too. And when you get your paycheck in the mail, you don't want to have to take out more than you already have taken. So if they're taking out your 401k for you, then it's like forgotten money.
It's easy. And the other thing is when they take it out pre-tax, so for every dollar you're putting in, you're only putting in maybe 70 cents because you would have given 30 cents to Uncle Sam in taxes. Uncle Sam's now adding 30 cents of that dollar for you that you would have given up to him. It's one of our principles in the book, OPM, other people's money.
You want a lot of that OPM.
A lot of other people's money. That's what you want to use.
Well, that's the nice part too, because oftentimes if you put money in your savings account, you're not going to make any money because it's just going in a bank.
Plus you pay taxes every year on that money. In the 401k, it's tax deferred. So you don't pay taxes until you start taking the money out. That's if you put it in before tax.
So I guess if nothing else, even people, you know, if they have to pay the babysitter, if they have to pay the mortgage payment, find that extra 1 or 2% because as you were saying, you can make $400,000 if you just get your act together.
A couple $100,000 a year extra, you know. The other key is something we call a calculating your desirement mortgage number.
Yeah.
And I think we have a shot at this too as well. The concept is most people own a home, they take out a 30-year mortgage, and they make that mortgage payment in good times and bad, and then the house is paid off. What I want people to think about, they can go to our website, www.paychecksforlife.org, and play with this calculator is, you're going to take out a mortgage payment to make sure you have enough money so you can create that paycheck for life. See, when you retire and your house is paid off, you can't eat it.
That's true. Yeah, you
So
can sleep in it. That's about it.
You need another chunk of money to pay that off. And what I found is whatever someone's mortgage payment is, that's probably what they need to save to have enough money for a paycheck for life. So a calculator will take them 5 minutes to use. It's on our website. It's easy. So are the 9 principles. You can get the book by going to paychecksforlife.org. It's on Amazon. You can download it on your Kindle. And I promise you, your viewers will have great results.
Is it an easy read?
It's so easy that only a child can do it.
Well, because that's the problem, I think, with finances a lot of times, where people are scared of money. They're scared of finances. So they tend to say, you know what, I'm just going to let someone else do it, or I'm just going to shove it in the bank.
The best feedback I've gotten is from people saying to me, not only was this easy to read, it was entertaining. And that's the point. I want it to be entertaining, I want it to be easy, and it's simple. And then the last thing is, we're going to do some good here in the community. For those of your viewers who don't know about a company called Square One, Springfield Day Nursery, they take care of all the inner city kids. Thank you. We're donating 50% of the sale of the proceeds of the book to Square One's kids.
Now, it's just till the end of the month, though. So everybody out there, they've got to get book buying. If you know a friend, a relative,
please,
anyone like that,
help
why
the
not?
kids out. So my pitch is, we're going to give your employees a paycheck for life, and then we're going to give the kids at Square One an education for life.
And real quick now, because maybe people are just turning on the TV now, let's talk that 10-1 mantra again.
Right. So 10-1 now is you got to save 10% in order to get to retirement on time safely with a paycheck for life. If you can only save 5, every year just increase it by 1 simple percent. It's so small you won't even notice it from your paycheck.
And you don't even know
10,
yeah.
You'll make an extra $100,000, $200,000 a year.
And you'll be sitting pretty when it comes time
You'll be sitting pretty when it comes time.
Vacationing on the beach.
That's what it's all about.
Thank you so much.
As always.
It's a pleasure to have you here.
We really appreciate it. Thanks everybody out there for having us.
Hey, and if you want to learn more about how to turn your 401k into a paycheck manufacturing company, you can always get that book and/or log on to paychecksforlife.org.